Coronation Street spoilers. 6 explosive storylines: Carla's big proposal, Aadi's arrest, and a child missing. Next week on Coronation Street, the cobbles are set to tremble underneath a wave of secrets, scandal and heartbreak, from Carla Connor's heartfelt plan to recommend, to Aadi dealing with the entire pressure of the law, and a kid's terrifying disappearance. Weatherfield is over again, teetering at the edge. Here are 6 gripping spoilers you might not need to miss. 1. Carla plans to pop the query, however, will Lisa ever see it coming? Carla Connor has love in her eyes and a hoop in her pocket equipped to recommend to ladyfriend Lisa Swain. But this being quarry, not anything ever runs smoothly. It all starts off evolved with a life-drawing elegance long gone wrong. Way to every other Betsy Swain blunder. Back on the factory, a flustered Betsy admits she's revealed the incorrect brand throughout a whole batch of vests, a nightmare for any business. And a headache Carla failed to need. Still, Carla continues her cool and shortly confides in Ryan that she's equipped to make the leap with Lisa. She's even were given the hoop on its manor image of latest beginnings. After such a lot of turbulent chapters in Carla's life. Meanwhile, Lisa stalks a touching concept of her very own, a hoop crafted from her overdue sister Becky's fingerprints. Meant as a present for Betsy's 18th, it's a poignant second that brings a lump to Carla's throat and strengthens her resolve. When the hoop subsequently arrives, Carla hatches a plan. With Glenda Shuttleworth gambling Cupid, she slips the hoop into a pitcher of champagne at the Rovers. But as Carla steers Lisa toward the pub for the large second, will or not it's romance or disaster? 2. Aadi and Amy develop nearer simply because the police come knocking. Aadi Alahan is spiraling, pressured through secrets, guilt, and the looming shadow of Lauren Bolton's overdose. Thankfully, he unearths consolation in Amy Barlow, who lightly reassures him that she is aware of he in no way intended any harm. In a second of vulnerability, Aadi admits he needs they will be greater than simply friends. And to his marvel, Amy feels the same. Their ardor speedy ignites, however the bliss is short-lived. Moments after their gentle kiss, PC Jess Haywood arrives with a chilling request. Aadi is needed for questioning. Back on the shop, Bernie pleads with Dev to assist restore the harm, in particular after Aadi confesses it became Brody Michaelis who delivered pills to the party. Dev is torn, in particular together along with his honeymoon looming. Ultimately, he tells Bernie to head alone, deciding on to live in the back of and assist his son. But with Aadi's destiny putting width inside the balance, will love be sufficient to shop him? 3. Doran disappears and Abby fears her affair can be exposed. Over on the Webster household, chaos brews on more than one fronts. Steve McDonald, now dwelling with Cassie Plummer, is locked in a monetary standoff with Tracy Barlow over the flower shop's value. Meanwhile, Tyrone and Fizz are clashing over Hope's pageant plans and who precisely Steve ought to be allowed to bunk with. Abby, meanwhile, is as much as her neck in guilt. She's secretly seeing Carl, and while Kevin asks to peer Hope's Telecel smartphone, which can also additionally comprise an incriminating photo, Abby panics. Worse still, Hope is threatening to publish a cheeky snap of Tyrone online. Abby begs Carl to retrieve the Telecel smartphone earlier than all of it blows up, however it's the least in their worries. When Steve consents to babysit little Doran, he falls asleep, and Doran vanishes. Fear grips the road while it is discovered an antique refrigerator has simply been taken to the top. May want to Doran have climbed inside. Time is going for walks out and Alvis fears the worst. 4. Gary Windass broadcasts battle on Noah Headley and Maria follows the trail. Over in every other nook of Weatherfield, Theo Silverton is overwhelmed while a flyer for Noah Headley's church functions his own circle of relatives in a twisted marketing campaign for traditional family values. Consumed through rage, Theo trashes the builder's backyard, his ache raw. His identification below attack. Gary Windass unearths him mid-rampage. And in spite of Theo begging him now no longer to get involved, Gary's blood is already boiling. Determined to defend Theo, Gary heads instantly to the network center for a showdown. But Maria, noticing Gary's moves on a monitoring app, races after him. She is aware of what Gary is successful of, and fears he is approximately to take matters too far. 5. Ronnie's emotional wedding ceremony plan for Debbie may want to extrade everything. Ronnie Bailey is a person with love in his coronary heart and an effective plan for his upcoming wedding ceremony to Debbie Webster. As Debbie battles dementia, Ronnie stumbles throughout a nearby dementia choir and comes to a decision to marvel her through consisting of them with inside the ceremony. It's a lovely gesture, wealthy with meaning, but will Debbie see it as a romantic tribute or a painful reminder of her diagnosis? The couple's engagement became these days renewed at Dev and Bernie's chaotic wedding ceremony. But with every other large day rapid approaching, will their vows burst off without a hitch? 6. George's romantic hopes overwhelmed through Glenda's reunion. George Shuttleworth is hoping for a sparkling begin with inside the romance branch and has covered up a promising date with a lady named Samantha. But as quickly as they come at the Rovers, it will become clean George isn't always the center of attention. Samantha and Glenda right away understand each other. They had been early life friends. And their exhilaration overshadows negative George entirely. He speedy unearths himself decreased to a bystander on his very own date. Can George reclaim the spotlight? Or has Glenda unwittingly stolen his shot at love? 1 week, 6 big testimonies and an entire village stuck with inside the crossfire. Will Carla's inspiration result in heartbreak? Will Aadi stroll unfastened or be led away in handcuffs? And will Doran be observed earlier than it is too overdue? Coronation Street keeps to show why it is Britain's maximum gripping cleaning soap, in which each door hides a secret, and each second may want to extrade everything. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.